Today, we're going to dive into one of the most exciting and, let's be honest, often misunderstood opportunities on the planet, the modern African agribusiness boom. We're going to get past all the headlines to figure out if there's real wealth hiding in the soil or if it's all just talk. And it all kicks off with this pretty wild claim from one of our sources, a really popular agribusiness channel. Farmers? Making more than doctors? It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? It's the kind of thing that makes you stop and ask.
Is this the real deal, a genuine economic shift, or are we just hearing a few success stories that have been blown way out of proportion? Well, that's the big question we're tackling. And to get to the bottom of it, we're going to piece together what entrepreneurs, economists, and even academic researchers are saying.
Okay, first things first. To really get the opportunity in farming, we have to zoom out, way out. We need to look at the continent's entire economic landscape, because, agriculture doesn't just happen in a bubble. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. You read the global headlines, and it's often all about the challenges. But the data? The data tells a totally different story. According to analysis from Activator HQ, the continent is actually gearing up for some serious growth. And this chart just lays it all out, plain and simple. Just look at these numbers. The IMF is projecting economies like Senegal and Ethiopia to grow at over 6%. That's more than double the projected global average of 2.9%. This is the kind of fertile economic ground we're talking about. So with the entire continent seeing this kind of growth, where are the real hotspots for entrepreneurs? Let's zoom in from that big picture and focus on the one sector that basically holds it all up, food.
And yeah, of course, there are huge opportunities all over the place. The digital economy is massive, same with financial services and energy. But the one thread running through all of this, the one thing that Activator HQ points to as a core pillar of Africa's growth, is the food sector, a multi-billion-dollar opportunity.
And this brings us to this idea of the green gold rush. Look, this isn't about old-school subsistence farming. This is a whole new ballgame. We're talking about a new wave of agribusiness focused on high-value crops, often for export, that can create some serious wealth. It's about treating a farm like a modern, strategic business.
So how does this actually work on the ground? We're moving from the what to the how. We're going to look at a playbook of specific crops that show the different strategies that smart entrepreneurs are using to cash in.
Because that's the key, isn't it? As a YouTube channel Corbe Poultry Farm points out, the secret isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. And that starts with choosing the right product for the right market.
So let's look at two totally different strategies. On one hand, you've got something like French beans. You can get these to market in just 45 days. It's an awesome way to get cash flowing quickly. But then you've got avocados, the green gold. This is a much longer game, taking up to 2 years to get your first harvest. But just look at that revenue potential. It's that classic business trade-off. Do you want speed or do you want scale? And the strategic choices don't end there. Think about what you have to work with. What if you don't have a lot of land? Well, mushroom farming can be done in a tiny indoor room and still bring in a monthly income. Or maybe you do have land and you want to build something that lasts. Macadamia nuts are a long-term play, a true investment that can create wealth for generations to come. Both paths can work. They're just different.
Okay, so choosing the right crop is absolutely key. We get that. But the really smart operators, they know that the real money isn't just in growing something. It's about what you do with it after it comes out of the ground. Let's talk about the power of processing. Now, to get beyond just stories, we're going to dig into some actual academic research. This study looked at cassava processors in Ghana and asked a really simple question. What's the most profitable thing you can make? And, well, the answer was not what you'd think.
So the study found that the vast majority of these processors, we're talking over 93% of them, they preferred to make cassava dough. It was their main product, their go-to. It's just what everyone in the market was doing.
But then the researchers crunched the numbers. They calculated the actual profit margin for the three main products you can make from cassava: dough, pellets, and gari, which is a popular roasted flour. And the difference is, it's just staggering. Look at the gross margin for gari compared to that dough everyone was so busy making. So here's the kicker. Even though almost everybody was making dough, processing that same cassava into gari was over 50% more profitable. Isn't that crazy? The most popular choice was nowhere near the most lucrative one. This just goes to show that understanding the whole value chain is absolutely critical.
We've talked a lot about revenue, choosing the right crop, making the right processed product. But that's only half of the profit equation, right? To really win, you have to become a master of your costs.
And for this,
we're going to look at another study, this one on poultry farming in Nigeria. It breaks down the entire cost structure of running a poultry farm, and it pinpoints the one single expense that overshadows everything else.
This chart says it all. I mean, just look at that massive slice of the pie. Feed. It makes up nearly 70%, 70, of the total cost of production. It's not your workers, it's not medicine, it's the feed. For anyone in the poultry business, managing this one cost is everything. If you can't get your feed cost under control, you simply don't have a business.
All right, we've looked at the big economic picture. We've looked at specific crop strategies, the power of processing, and the critical need for cost control. So let's pull all of this together into a simple, clear blueprint for anyone looking to get in on this.
Here it is. It really comes down to 4 steps. First, see the big picture. Know that the wind is at your back. Second, pick a strategy that actually fits your resources and your goals. Third, don't just be a grower, be a processor. Find out where the real value is added. And finally, you have to obsess over your biggest cost. It's a simple framework that combines that high-level vision with what you actually need to do on the ground.
But, at the end of the day, all the research and analysis in the world doesn't mean a thing without action. And this quote from our YouTube source just nails it. The key is just to begin. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Just get started and learn as you go.
So, is the green gold rush real? The data says the potential is enormous. The strategies are getting clearer every day. So the final question really isn't about if the opportunity exists, it's about what you're going to do with it. Thanks for tuning in.